What's up, guys? I'm here with another Wi-Fi battle, and this is an NU match against MrDonphan, a guy who I met on the Slowpost chat. And he also does have a YouTube channel, so go check him out. He's a really cool guy. So, yeah, let's get started. He starts off with a Sand Slash as I go for my Torkoal. And I'm not really scared of the Earthquake because I know he's going to set up his rocks, so I decided to set up my rocks. So, things are looking pretty good. I predict the Earthquake here, so I go for my Noctowl. And since I know Noctowl is going to be faster than the Sand Slash, I decided to set up my Reflect. So yeah, he goes with the Earthquake, see, and I get more leftover recovery, and I set up my Reflect, and he decides to go into his Grumpig, which I'm not really sure what kind of Grumpig this was, so I just go straight for the Toxic, but before that happens, he decides to use Trick, and now I have Choice Specs, and that is completely useless to me. So yeah, I have to switch now because I don't want to use Toxic twice on. That's gonna be a waste. So yeah, I predict the Psychics because that's the only move he can do, and I go into my Sableye because Psychic doesn't even affect it. So yeah, that's pretty good. Uh, right away I go for the knockoff because I don't want him to heal all the time with the leftovers. It ends up being pretty good because he decides to switch into his Regice, which he had the Chesto Berry. So now I know this Regice carries Rest. So yeah, I predict the Ice Beam. I'm not because Sableye can't take it very well. So I go into my Golduck. It's a pretty neat set. I really like this Golduck. It did pretty well in this battle. So right here I decided to set up a sub because I predict the T-Wave or Toxic or something. But instead he decided to switch into his Grumpig. So yeah, I decided to set up some Calm Minds, and yeah, things are looking pretty good. He decides to go for a Shadow Ball. I think he thinks that it's super effective, but Golduck is just water, I think. So, yep. So I set up another Calm Mind until he breaks my sub, and he goes for the Shadow Ball again. And this time it will break my sub, but I'm not too worried, so because I decided to set up another sub. Yeah, there's some annoying people in my yard. So that's annoying. They're playing music really loud. Okay. So yeah, he decides to go for a Shadow Ball. And that won't bring my sub because I have two Calm Minds up. And he's going to have to do another one. And right now he doesn't see that I have certain moves. He didn't know the moves I have. So I decided to go for a Signal Beam. Surprise him. And yeah, down goes Grumpig. Even though he has a special wall. Most likely. Or a special sweeper. I'm not really sure. But so yeah, now he goes to his special wall. And I go for the Hydro Pump because it's a stab move and it's like 120 damage. And yeah, it almost takes it out. But he doesn't go for rest. He just goes straight for the Seismic Toss just to break my sub. So that's a pretty good play for him. Uh, yeah, now I just go for the safe Signal Beam. I don't want to miss with the Hydro Pump. So yeah, I have two Calm Minds up on my Golduck. Things are looking pretty good. Golduck's actually pretty bulky, so he can take whatever comes his way. So I was pretty scared of this Hitmonchan. I decided to let Golduck die to be death fodder or something. So he goes for the Thunder Punch, and I knew I could survive because Golduck is really bulky. Well, not really, but he's pretty average. So with two Calm Minds up, Hydro Pump will definitely take down the Hitmonchan, even though Hitmonchan has high special defense. So that was pretty cool. And now he goes into his Raichu. He probably should have went into that before, but I'm not really sure what he's gonna do. So yeah, he goes for the safe Thunderbolt, and that is a Life Orb Raichu. And at this point, he probably knows he's gonna faint. So he decides to set up a Thunder Wave so he can revenge kill later. So go for the overheat, and that won't give me my attack drop because I have the white herb. So that was pretty cool. And he goes into his Sand Slash, and he does predict me to go to Noctowl, and that was pretty good play, and it's still super effective. So I knew I could take one and set up an Earthquake. So I stay in and I go for the Energy Ball, and I'm not sure if Overheat would have done more, but yeah. He decides to go for the safe Earthquake, and that will take down Ninetales. So yeah, he has like 2 pokes left, I think. Yeah. So go into my Torkoal. I know I can take 1 Earthquake because most Sandslash don't have attack EVs. So yeah, I decided to go Boom, and that will take down the Sandslash. I probably should have really saved that Torkoal for later, but I just wanted to be cool, and yeah, that really cost me. Yeah, so it goes into his last poke, and it's a Rapidash, and I go for the Shadow Snake because that's the only thing I could do at this point. I'm not really sure what item he had. And he decides to go for a Flare Blitz, and that does a lot of damage, and looks like to be a 2-hit KO. And it does a lot of recoil damage to Rapidash too. And he goes for the Flare Blitz again, and that will take down the Sableye, but it would leave him with like -2 HP, which is stupid. So yeah, I go to my Noctowl. He goes for Hypnosis, but I have Insomnia, and I went for the Roost because I forgot I had choice specs on this thing. So now I'm locked into choice, like with the choice specs. So I decided to switch into Hypno, and there's nothing really he can do. So I went for the Will-O-Wisp, and now he has Mega Horn, so I know most of his set, and that will take down the Hypno. If this was like a bulky Hypno, it would have done better, but it was like a belly drum set that I didn't get to use, which sucks for me. But yeah, he goes for the Mega Horn because Flare Blaze would have taken him out, and I told him that I had no other moves, no attacking moves. But so at this point he was like, good game, but yeah, he went for the Flare Blitz because Mega Horn might have missed, and it probably wouldn't have finished me off. So yeah, good game, MrDonphan. Really good play, and I ended up in a draw. Peace.